everybody, welcome back to the homestead. My name is Emily. As you can see, I'm weed eating along this fence. The reason is so that I can put up the deer netting to finish enclosing my garden. So I ran out of electrical cord length with just this little bit right here in front of this fence. The netting's not going to go here, but it is a lot easier to get this gate open when the grass isn't there. I do need to go in along this fence in the chicken yard and just weed along that really quick. That will be a lot quicker and easier because the grass isn't quite so dense thanks to the chickens. Plus I mowed there last year. Never mowed this part last year because there's a lot of things to mow and I really don't have as much time as I need to do it all and everything else. So I picked my battles. But this battle needed to be fought because of the deer. I'm going to show you inside the garden where I could tell they have been getting in. This is the asparagus patch where I just planted some new asparagus, and last night I discovered there are some hoof prints in this, and they were not there the day before. So despite me putting up the electric fence, they didn't get in from that way, but they either jumped over that fence where I was just weed eating, or they came through on the chickens fence side where either that bird netting has fallen down or that one section at the end where we never did get any of it up. This is where it fell down. It was holding onto this pole for quite a while, but it's still holding onto that one. But we're just gonna rip all this down today. And then in between that big pole and that pole at the very end, past the tree, we never did get anything put up. Goal for today, however, is to get the fences weed eated and then get that deer netting up, and then with the electric fence and then the deer netting on the other sides, we should have a secure garden that isn't going to get chomped on by the deer. Now, it won't be impervious to rabbits or raccoons or whatever, but I haven't really seen any of that kind of pressure yet, so I'm not worried about it yet. The deer netting does have smaller holes, and I'm gonna, instead of putting it way up high like I was doing with the bird netting, I'm just gonna put it the 7 feet, so like from the ground and up 7 feet. On the fence that you just saw me weed eating, there is some metal fencing that has fallen down off of the wooden fence. Most of it's on the inside of the garden. There's a small piece on the outside, so I might remove the piece on the outside, and then later I'll come back some other time and pull the metal fencing off on the inside the rest of the way and like clean up that area. But that is not on the agenda for today because I don't think I'll have time to get all of that done. So I'm going to go gather up my weed eater and electrical cord and re-plug it in the chicken coop because I can't reach any further that direction. Now the hard part is finished, thankfully, but the rest is going to have to wait until after dinner because I've got to go in and get cleaned up to take my youngest to summer reading program. Then come home, make dinner, and get a couple of the kids to come out and help me manage the deer netting and the ladder and everything to get this finished. It is after dinner, which was delicious. And we're starting with taking apart what we did last time with the bird netting and these 8-foot 2x2s. Instead of having them go up so high, we're just going to have them even with the ground. But I also realized while we were gathering our materials that I used most of these other 2x2s that I had for this project on that guinea fence. So when we get to that other side where I started the weed whacking project today, I'm going to have to go in search of some more boards, and hopefully we've got something in one of the barns, that will work. Now, this section of fence down here needs to be fixed a bit. There's some T-posts and the fence really isn't up against them very well. And then one of the wooden posts, we're gonna get it shored up a bit and then we can start putting up the deer netting. These look like tiger lilies. That was a surprise. I thought this was just all, you know, grass and weeds over here. But I'm giving up on this post, and I
brought 3.
Okay. I sent a kid to get 1 T-post, and he apparently got 3.
What's a tiger lily?
It's a flower.
Where is it?
Right there.
You don't know who Tiger Lily
It's
Cookie is?
It's orange with black polka dots. There were some by the front porch last year. We ran out of daylight. It was way too dark to record, and we could still see, so we kept working. We pretty much finished it. There's one janky corner, like where the 2 pieces of deer netting met, and there's not really a board there to hold it up, so I think it's good enough to keep the deer out for now, and I can fix that when I get back from my trip to Indiana this weekend. So I will give you a quick little peek at the finished product in the morning. So I'll see you then. Okay, next morning, and let me show you what the fence ended up looking like. We could have maybe pulled it a little tighter, but it kept getting stuck on the different parts of the fence. This is the corner that we really need to have another post in. We just zip tied the 2 pieces of netting together. But there is this little tree here. So hopefully that won't be a place that the deer would want to try to jump in. But I mean, everything looks like it's still intact. I don't have time to go into the garden this morning because we need to get going. We are now heading to Indiana for the weekend. And that is the reason why we worked into darkness to finish this, because the deer have been eating my peas, and if I just left it without finishing the fence before we left for the weekend, I probably wouldn't have any peas left by the time we got back. So that project is thankfully done, and hopefully my garden will stay safe while we are away. And thank you for hanging out with us, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye!